All right, guys, this week's Deadcember video is about form, right? Now, I am not a technique coach, but I'm a biomechanic expert with this, right? So what we're trying to do is make sure that each section of this lift, the deadlift, is moving correctly and we're not overutilizing any different part of the body. The biggest thing we want to do with a deadlift is hinge, right? So I see people at the gym, or I'll see people in here, they'll bend over and they'll just bend their back and then pull. We have to get a hip hinge involved to create a neutral spine to help stabilize and support the low back. So I'm gonna have Drew do a deadlift here, and we're just gonna talk about the different pieces. So right now, Drew, just go ahead and grab the weight. Now, this is not a traditional one. We don't have a barbell, we're just using a kettlebell for our purposes, but we start from ground up, okay? So I'm gonna cue him, hey, I want the tripod of your foot, right? I want the ball of the big toe, I want the outside of the foot, and I want the heel all equally distributed on the ground. So that way when he pushes, he drives as much force as he can through his feet. He's gonna have a nice little knee bend here with this. Arms are straight. And I'm gonna cue him to make sure when he hinges, the butt needs to go backwards, the spine needs to stay neutral, and he's going to stand straight up, engage the lats, and go right. There you go. All right? The lat engagement is about, it's not a necessity, it's a cue. When I do that, I want to keep people from being hunched over like this in their thoracic spine. So if you cue, engage the lat, they automatically will bring back the shoulders and neutral spine that up there. So we're gonna have him do that again. Very good. And one thing Drew is also doing really well, he's keeping his neck neutral. The body likes to follow the eyes. So if we're looking down, we're normally gonna bend forward more and round that spine. We want to decrease the amount of flexion and extension in this movement so we have that neutral spine that's safer and it's more stable, right? So go ahead, Drew. Good. And one more. Very good. You can tell he engaged his feet, he pushed straight up through the ground, he got his glutes active, he performed the hinge correct, and he's extending through those lats and keeping himself nice and upright. So again, the thing to avoid injuries with the deadlift is form, and I would have a lot more people do less weight, but the point here is when we create it from the ground up and build it that way, we're gonna have a healthier deadlift, we're gonna have a neutral spine, and we're gonna keep from getting those injuries we talked about last week.